I think the dumbest thing to do is go into an organization and be like, I want to be the CEO in 12 months. No,
Yeah,
like that has no value. But I came in and said, hey, I want to do A, B, and C in the next 12 months. And then I use the four most powerful words that everybody on this show need to memorize. I need your help. I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I need your help. And then what happens is you empower even your employer
absolutely.
to lean into you and be like, let me help educate you. And what happened with me in that particular situation was someone took me under their wing and full on gave me all of them.
That's awesome.
And in 12 months, it was like a fast track to learning and being able to move forward. So
And that's how it should work. And I think that, Jared and listeners, everyone, like, you did that because of I need your help. You invited that moment. One of my favorite people in the world, his name is Jeff Tupper. Him and I work together. He is an employee. He knows he's an employee. His life is awesome, and he knows it. He's like, I don't worry about anything. I just show up, do seminars, I close, I help my clients. I don't have to do anything. I hunt, I fish. He's like, it's like the best. It's like I've been retired ever since I started working here
yeah,
because I have no stress. I just do what I have to do the very limited time to do it. So, like I said, there's roles in here that can fit every single person. Um, if you want to shift to the practitioner, have a plan. That's the other thing I would say is have a plan, have an organization you trust. There's a lot of great FMOs and IMOs out there that will help you make that transition. If you're an insurance agent, there's a lot of broker dealers that will do it. I mean, there's big companies like Edward Jones, Waddell and Reed. If you want to be on the broker side, they'll help you. These are great companies that can help you transition to a practitioner.
yeah. I think there's also a piece of education that you can really submerge yourself in as an employee. Because remember, you said practitioner is an expert or has a level of expertise in that particular field. So soak up that time as an employee
Absolutely.
as you're setting your plan. So when the transition comes, you are that expert.
Yeah. Now, if the career capital systems like Mass Mutual, Northwestern, Guardian, all these, they kind of have a combination where you do both. They kind of start you out at one and they're kind of helping you. And so there's some hybrid experiences out there as well. But yeah, again, be upfront with people on what your intentions are, and I need your help. And
Okay.
you'll be surprised what people are willing to do.
Yeah. What about the transition? And this one for me, this is crazy, but let's talk about either transitioning from employee to business owner or transitioning from a practitioner to a business owner because man, there's like a whoo.
It's a huge. So here's the number one thing. Don't think of it as a practice. Think of it as a business. So you need to have a business plan. What's your business plan? Because it's no more just getting out and selling. If your intent is to be like, hey, I'm going to sell enough and then pull people underneath me, and then I'm going to build them up, and then I'm slowly going to get out. I've seen that work with family members. There's a couple of unique firms I've seen that they have a way of doing it. And I think that we're excited to interview those and how they're doing it out there because there's some people that are doing it. Most of the time people don't have a plan and they fail, or they're and I know that because I feel like I've even failed there to a certain extent as well, where I've hired people in with the intent that they're going to do the annuities then, and I'm just going to kind of manage this whole thing and train and build them up into it. But the problem is that in that process, if you don't have a business plan to begin with that existed with you never producing at all, it's not going to all of a sudden start working,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, I think that as people make that leap and you talk about business plan, there have been so many instances, and I've been guilty of this too, where I write the business plan and I write it. And the business plan sounds great. What I'm meaning is the theory or the
The theory,
ideology
yeah.
of the business plan sounds great. With no pro forma, with no numbers, I've seen a need in the market. I'm going to exploit that need in the market. I'm going to run hot. I'm going to run fast. And look, I'm Jared Bruce Larson. I do hard things, and there's no way I'm failing
Yep.
until I get in and the smoke happens and the first punch is thrown. And now wanting to become a business owner became incrementally more difficult because I didn't see blind spots. I hadn't worked through things. I hadn't thoughtfully planned out what it was that I needed to do. And the crazy thing is there are people that have gone before and done it, but people think I need to somehow invent the next perfect widget that's going to transform the world. Like success leaves clues.
Yeah.
Success leaves clues. Go to someone, ask someone for help, build a business plan coupled with pro formas and the strategies that are necessary.
Well, and this is a good rule of thumb if you're an advisor and you're a practitioner in particular and you want to be a business owner. If you quit tomorrow as a practitioner and you're going to invest money into a business, is this the business you'd invest in? And I want you to think about hiring a person. I want you to think about all the cost. Is that really where you'd put your money? And if you do it because you just think it would be fun, or if you do it just because you have industry knowledge, even though you never produce a thing, you might be onto something.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just doing it because, well, I'm doing it too, you need to literally look at it as a standalone business. And so I watch these 8-figure agents, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm thinking about bringing someone on. And I'm like, there's not a chance that you would ever invest. If someone came to you and say, hey, I've got this business where I'm going to have marginal people sell a little bit of annuities or a little bit of wealth management, they're going to be great. You'd be like, oh, I'm totally investing in that. But yet you're doing it.
Yeah.
And so that's the question you have to ask yourself. And it's the question I wish I had asked myself sooner. Because I've had it on certain situations where I would have said yes. And I'm so glad I did. We had tremendous success. In fact, in some of our, continuing episodes that we're going to have, we're going to interview the CEO that I hired for that business and what we did. And we're going to talk to you about step by step of how we did it and made a success. We're also going to tell you some stories of how it didn't work so well. And we're going to interview people that made success with it and people that didn't. So as advisors and agents are thinking about this, we want you to hear these stories. This is why we have this community, is because it's not being addressed, is these kind of conversations.
Let's just spend a couple minutes then, Matt, on talking about finding the right fit. And I really want us to take it from the angle of identifying the priorities in your life, what goals are important to you, and then how you align to either 3 of these particular roles.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit of why, I've done all 3 and full disclosure, I've even been all 3 at a time because I feel like I've got this multi-personality that's like a little bit of all over the place.
He has significant control issues.
Yeah. So, I mean, why don't you take off with employees? You start with employees.
Yeah. Okay. So I think about this, priorities. I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here, Matt. The priorities that I might have are, maybe I really value particular time and knowing an exact schedule and being able to request paid time off. Maybe my goals are that I just need to stable my life right now and I need something that I can count on and depend on and I just need to show up. Maybe my stress levels and things in my life just aren't such that I can't worry about everything else around me and all the noise. So being an employee may align with me by just simply showing up and doing the best work that I can. And so I don't know what your priorities are, but with an employee, think about that. There's some tremendous benefit that comes from that, and it serves people so well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people that look at Jeff Tupper and be like, that's not the life I want to have. That guy is amazing, man. He's got something good worked out.
And he's over time created a life by design as an employee that allows him to take on his goals. The dude golfs all the time. He goes to high school football games and he has a great life as an employee. But the one thing is Jeff is not willing to compromise his goals.
That's true.
He's not willing to compromise what he wants to get. So he's found a way as an employee to accomplish his goals.
Yeah. I think that the practitioner, if in our business, if you want to go, if your desire is money, then the practitioner, in my opinion, is better than the business owner. Because a practitioner, there's actually a clear, more doable path than the business owner. The business owner, your chances of success are just as good as any other business owner out there. Just because you think you know the space doesn't mean you're going to have that much more success. But the path on a practitioner is higher. So there is the financial incentive, but you also understand you're taking financial risk.
Yeah.
And then understand this, as a practitioner, you have the least flexibility on time than any of the groups. So this is for people that are very driven. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to get a good team of people. I'm going to build it around me. I'm going to control a business so the world can't affect me. I mean, business owners, you can still be affected by just things that happen in the marketplace and industry. But I feel like as a practitioner, you're smaller, you can make the changes quicker. So that's where the person who's more driven and has that desire, the time isn't as much of an issue. That's where I would say those people should go.